although the Colts are catching 78% of the action, and laying 3 points, which is a 7.5 point move off of last week, where the look ahead had the Packers -4.5. Total's 41. The Packers are +132 on the money line. All right, so obviously Malik Willis is not a good quarterback, but is Jordan Love worth 7.5 points more than Malik Willis?
Yes.
Okay.
Malik Willis is very, very bad. I was like an early supporter of Malik Willis. I thought like, draft this guy. He's super athletic.
You saw him giving the homeless people the stuff in his suitcase.
Yeah, it seemed like a great guy, and I don't even know if he's completely cooked yet. Like he is. Again, I think I described him as like a 67 Corvette that they dragged out of the river. Like, yeah, he's a project. It's going to be a lot of work to get him fired up. He certainly has a bunch of God-given talent, but 67 pass attempts so far in the league, 0 touchdowns. That's bad. And to me, why this is really bad, and I do think LaFleur, as much as I bust his chops, I think he's a pretty good coach, good at preparing quarterbacks. I think he's done a good job with Jordan Love overall, but
I think his play calling is very good. I think that's where he like really gets.
He's put his quarterbacks in positions to succeed. I think would be a good way to describe it. Malik Willis was traded to the Packers on August 26th after all 3 preseason games. So
that's not important.
No, I mean, this is a guy who probably needed some chemistry, needed some live action. Give this guy some joint practice. Let him fully understand the playbook and put him in a good way to succeed. I understand this is a big adjustment, but I think the Colts defense, they're going to have a pretty easy formula. It's load the box against Josh Jacobs and force Malik Willis to beat him on the outside. Now, Packers certainly do have a bunch of talented pass catchers against that Colts secondary. Sure. But I mean, and the Packers defense certainly had some issues. They gave up 34 points against the Eagles. I think AR-15 is going to be able to run on them. We saw what Saquon Barkley did against this Packers defense. They do have a long rest going for them. Jonathan Taylor, I think, could have a very productive game for this team. The fact that you're getting Indy -3, I think, is a good price. I think if you're on the Packers, it's just kind of like a market play of like, this is too much of an over adjustment, but I'm not in the stock market. I'm in the sports gambling world, and I have eyes. I've seen Malik Willis play. I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why it can't move more. To your point, I'm sure people are betting it at 3, playing that sweet middle, cause they got that look ahead price at 4.5. Malik Willis has not shown us that he could throw the forward pass in the NFL. So unless unless you think that the Colts defense is bad enough to where either they're going to create, cause the receivers can get open. Don't care. Yes. Malik Willis can't get him the ball. So if they just run the ball, can they? If they're one dimensional, do they have
also
a chance?
too, like I think he's bullshitting. But Matt LaFleur did say Jordan Love has a chance to play on Sunday. I think he's bullshitting. I don't think he's going to play. And he also said Sean Clifford is going to get some work.
How bad is Sean Clifford that he's not playing in this game right now?
Well, it's interesting.
He at least knows the playbook.
I think if Matt LaFleur, you're talking yourself into a version like a game plan that Arthur Smith drew up.
You tried to get
Justin
Tannehill.
Fields.
You tried to sign Tannehill.
Did they? I thought that was just a rumor. I didn't see that they tried to sign him.
I guess I didn't go. It did seem like there was contact.
I think the fact that they didn't sign Tannehill does probably mean they don't think Jordan Love's going to be out for
Tannehill's just
2-3 games. I mean, I would much rather
Tannehill's your guy.
If you're giving me Tannehill and 4 points, I might have to think about this. But Malik Willis and 3 points, no. Thank you.
I think Tannehill's out of the league for a reason. You think he plays this year at all? He's ready.
I mean, Ryan, I'm not meaning to disparage your team, but they would be much better with Ryan Tannehill as their starting quarterback. Easy with a great line. Sean Clifford, the big red backup. Yes, I don't. It's gonna be Malik Willis, which I think is crazy. Again, just like I would rather start Sean Clifford just because he's had more time with the program.
Have you talked to anyone that's taking the Packers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't talked to them personally, but I've heard people.
Someone who's taking the.
Oh, it's the classic Sharps thing of you can't react this much to a line. But I've seen Malik Willis play. I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, he's not replacement level. He's below replacement.
Level. I know the math doesn't make sense to change the spread by 10 points, but as gamblers, we have to ignore the math sometimes.
Everyone is on the Colts. What could possibly go wrong?